thing against Detroit per se, as far as it's done intentionally. Do I think that they have things structured the way they want for marketing and endorsements? And yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Now, okay, so the team that winds up winning the draft lottery is the San Antonio Spurs. Not a big market, but they do have a championship pedigree. I mean, they have a
history of big man.
Right.
But we did too. We interrupted 2 times. Like, I mean, granted, it's an old school legacy, but so is the San Antonio Spurs legacy. Theirs ain't that new.
True. I mean, it goes back 25 years.
Okay, and we're like 24.
Not as consistent. And I'm not disagreeing with you. Not as consistent though. And to that end, the reason I asked the question that way, if you think that the NBA might be motivated, say, against the Pistons, when we did win in 89 and 90, and when we won in 04, the way that we won, our style of basketball went against the grain. We were not the exciting team. We were hard. Secret that at least David Stern, these words, they are bad.
Yeah, he did say that.
With that being said, David Stern's underling is now the current NBA commissioner.
So maybe he's still taking on that personal. Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that's what it is, but I find it odd. I just find it odd. That's all I'm saying.
If it sounds like a duck and swim like a duck, it's a damn duck. I'm gonna have to go with that because they can stand us, and even when we tried to clean up the bad boy image, the way that they even played for the 2003 and 2004. Because don't forget, we was about to go back to back until they stole that one game
against who?
San Antonio. And so I will never. And then they want to come back like a year or two later about the referees and some of them were calling our games.
Yep.
But nobody wanted to go back and redo nothing.
The one that Donahue.
Yep.
Rasheed Wallace said he was cheating. Got fined $100,000 for it. A few years later, the man gets arrested for just that.
Right.
The ball don't lie.
Don't lie. So I'm not trying to create some saying is what happened. But I do.
Things that make you go,
And just like put something in perspective too, the draft lottery 20 plus times in their career. Won it twice. San Antonio Spurs, since the NBA draft lottery started in 1985, they're 7 times now. 7 times now. So only 7. And during that 7 times they've been in the draft lottery, they've won it 3 times. They've won out of 7 times during the lottery, they have won.
Those are unlikely odds. So yeah, something ain't right in the milk.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of in Cleveland when LeBron went to Cleveland, and the very next year, Cleveland got it.
When stuff sort of kind of you can't prove.
Right. Yeah. Because it's all subjective.
But it feels funny.
But I swear, shouldn't it be similar to? Maybe I'm not understanding the lottery like I get. You should get the first, or the first one.
That's how the NFL does.
That's what I'm saying. But as far as this, let's try to draw the daily 3 or daily 4 numbers like that. It's ridiculous to me.
That's what he's rather.
All right. So you're trying to stop teams from tanking. So,
and that's what they're saying.
If that is, why not make sure that the losing teams get the number 1 picks so that they don't have to continue tanking?
That's exactly what I'm thinking too.
Why not do that?
They would stop tanking if if they had a player on their team.
Yeah, film. Listen, I mean,
that makes absolutely no sense.
Which is the other thing. And they did it for 4 straight years. They tanked so that they could get Embiid, Nerlens Noel, Ben Simmons, and Markelle Fultz. A, nobody said anything, and B, they got it.
Trust the process.
They got it.
But look at their legacy.
Trust the process.
That's what I'm saying. With Boston, at one point, Boston was not something to be at one point. After they did they big 3, Then you didn't really hear nothing about Boston for a minute. Next thing you know, here comes Marcus Smart. Here comes Jason Tatum.
They weren't
as overt.
Like that.
Okay.
They just really knew how to draft, and the one thing that they were doing was hoarding draft picks. So they did it a little bit different. Okay, we don't have the number 1 pick, but we got the number 8 pick, the number 10 pick, the number 20 pick, the number 32. we just got all the rest of the draft picks, and hit or miss. Gonna hit.
Okay.
They literally played the law of averages, which is I don't have a problem with.
I don't either. They're smart. They're smart as hell. Because while you banking on getting one person to do your franchise,
I would
building.
Right. What I like to see, the NBA do, and I can't believe I'm saying this, is like pull a page from the USFL.
Okay.
Last year, the Michigan Panthers played. I believe they were playing another team. I can't. It's USFL. Forgive me if I don't.
Who cares?
It's guaranteed the number 1 pick. So what the league said is like, you guys try to lose your number 1 pick next year.
Right.
On that week, the commissioner of the USFL went to the coaches and said, "Listen, whoever wins this game, it's the number 1 pick."
Gotcha.
So it's like a play-in for the number 1 pick.
Yeah, we put maybe the bottom 5 team get like the first round bye, 2 and 5 play, and 3 and 4 play. You do this simultaneously the first round of the NBA, because sometimes first round of the NBA is gonna last a while, and you can actually play these games during the day.
Now I had another idea as far as what could be done, and it sort of kind of prevents the whole tanking thing. The last 10 games of the season, you pretty much who those bottom few teams are going to be.
Correct.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So you take those who they're playing, the schedule is the schedule. Those teams, and the team with the best record out of those last 10 games, first pick. And then you go back
in order.
From there.
Okay. Talk with that.
You go backwards from there. That way you don't have to add any exchanges. You know how long the season for a team has nothing to work for other than the draft pick.
And you can dispel the myth that you're doing things on purpose for certain legacy style teams.
And for the last aspect, you got to. If you want that pick, you got to at least for the last 10 games, you got to fall out.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, you can have these games in a bubble. You can have all these teams go to one arena and have this done in a weekend. Like,
maybe don't
like a one and done. Like you don't have to win the series. Like a one and done. Put them in a bubble.
Sure.
I
mean, for me,
it's worried about people traveling and stuff like that.
Yeah, and cool. However you want to do it. With that idea, not a bad idea. What concerns me is this extra games, and it's like when we're gonna play them, because they're going to monetize that, and you can't. Because you're gonna juxtapose that next to the actual playoffs that's going on. It's just a lot.
Okay.
Now, I'm sure the NBA would love it because once again,
money.
But sure, which I also think is ridiculous. I wouldn't mind to see some system like that. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. But
they don't call traveling no more in these games either, huh?
No.
Okay.
Nor carries, nor double dribble. Just for the record. Let's go ahead
and carry on to.
I see what you did there. The NBA playoffs.
Yeah, listen to carry on.
Right on cue.
Right.
So the NBA playoffs, right? Let's go on. Western Conference Finals just got started last night.
Denver.
Denver beats up on the LA Lakers.
As they should.
I, for one, am happy as a lark about that. I don't know. I just heard it and I sort of got the context, so I said it again. But I'm rooting for Denver. Nikola Jokic is no joke.
You been full on them all day, huh?
It was funny.
That's what we're doing, huh? All right.
But they wound up beating them 132 to 126. First and foremost, quick. There was a bet that was on the table from a series ago, LA versus Golden State. Two bets, in fact. One was that LA was going to beat Golden State. They did. The other part of that bet was that Austin Reeves, 15 points a game in that series, he didn't.
It's a wash.
The two bets were a wash. But fast forward.
That's why y'all smell so nice.
I'm sorry.
See what I did there?
But listen, if we're going for corny jokes, let's fuck it. Let's go for it.
Whatever.
But to the Denver LA game. I've been calling Austin Reeves the Jeremy Lin of the league this year. Kid's sort of nice. Kid's sort of nice.
Serviceable.
Now he's just serviceable. You was betting on his ass last series. Now he's just serviceable.
He served his point.
16 points a game was serviceable.
Yeah.
It would have been. Kept me from having to pay your ass $20.
Because of him, I started paying more attention. I was like, oh, okay. Little buddy was doing some things, even though I hate.
The only problem with Austin Reeves is that when you get to the look for the foul and he be short on the shot a lot of times instead of scoring for the shot.
The reason I bring him up, last night in the Denver LA game, Denver was beating the brakes off of LA. And one of the biggest reasons that LA actually and got it to within 3 with like a minute left. And that was in large part due to Austin Reeves.
He's sitting like a proud uncle.
I was sort of surprised by it.
Yeah.
Come on, boy.
Kid did it last night.
I could just imagine him at the crib now. Come on, boy.
Did anybody else pull anything out of this game other than me? Because there was a couple other things that I saw.
I pulled out my pajamas and went to bed.
Wow. Fair enough. Just go Denver and went to sleep.
You had a 90s on.
You never know.
They make all pajamas.
So let me.
I was doing this for America.
Oh, there it is. America, if I could tell y'all a joke that was said before we came on the air, oh my God. But look, a lot was made of before the series got started. The matchup between Anthony Davis and Nikola Jokic. It was like, watch.
They didn't say that.
Who didn't say it?
It's gonna be a battle.
They already knew. Right, Jokic gonna get his though. He gonna get that triple double.
He certainly did.
What? I mean, that's what I'm saying. They cancel each other out. I mean,
They got that meme of Anthony Davis looking at him. The only thing I could do was just smile at him because he got it off. Like, what can you do when you know?
I thought that they were going.
Anthony Davis didn't do too bad last night either.
And we were going to be looking at a game. Davis scores 39. What he said, 39-40.
Yeah, Anthony Davis did his thing.
And Jokic scores 34. Has a 21 rebound, 14 assists,
like 5 blocks
double.
And shit.
Yeah, Anthony Davis had like 7 blocks. I thought that they were sort of kind of going to cancel each other out, and they did not. The fireworks with this.
I gotta get more pajamas.
This was the Denver Nuggets shot out of their mind. I mean, it was hitting in the sun.
Yeah,
that will continue though.
That one shot before halftime, it was like really.
They're the Denver Nuggets, so they got the claw, so they did what they had to do.
Jamal Murray got that show too.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe LA not used to that. That air.
But I like Jamal Murray. I always like Jamal Murray. But he always do.
He does do that.
Between him and Jokic, you got shit out of everybody else.
True.
I just want to see a different type of. I respect dynasties, and I have respect. but I also kind of get tired of it at the same time because it's almost and that's because
get better, shit.
No, it's not even that because sometimes to talk about
over the draft.
Hello, because I was going to say to go back to our previous point, a lot of that stuff is scripted. The only reason why shut up. The only reason that is my example will always be when Kobe was still with LA and LeBron was still with Cleveland. They had those damn puppets where those were already coming out before the playoffs even began. They already wanted a LeBron versus Kobe playoff. They were setting the narrative. Orlando, they tried it though because anytime 28 free throw attempts, which is more than the opposing team, they did everything they could to make sure that it can be LeBron versus Kobe. So that's why sometimes I get sick and tired of seeing. But if the team is good, the team is good. I will look because I don't even think Denver has ever had a championship.
To the finals.
Yeah, you might be right.
They have never got to the finals.
I was gonna say they've gotten to the playoffs.
One of the 6 teams in the league that never got to the finals.
Right, they've only made it to the playoffs, and they normally get put out in the first round.
Nope, they made it to this conference championship game.
Okay. I was gonna say I don't think they've ever won a championship though.
Won a shit.
Well, excuse the shit out of me. Well, dip me in shit.
I wouldn't do
what the fuck does that mean?
I heard that from a movie.
I got that movie too.
The Man of Steel, Shaquille O'Neal's movie, where Richard Roundtree is playing his uncle.
That explains a whole lot.
And that's when nobody saw it.
That explains a whole lot.
Speak.
But I'm looking forward to it. So let's do this. Let's go ahead, like every other sports.
Denver.
And how many games?
I think it's gonna go 6.
6. Denver, LA.
I got LA at 6.
LA and 6. You just gonna
6
franchise?
I got Denver and 5.
5. I ain't mad at him.
I gotta beat him in LA.
Okay.
It ain't hard to beat LA and LA. Detroit did it. Detroit ain't shit, right?
Right.
But Detroit did it.
Not in the playoffs.
What it did?
Yeah, they did. That's how we won.
No,
this is the 2000s. This was the 99 and the 2000s.
Just like the Denver Nuggets. Somebody will have to give.
At the end of the day, Denver is hungry.
Golden State beat them in the last series to beat them.
They sure did.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. I'm gonna have to Google that.
Yeah,
you have to. I am a fucking dictionary.
You might be a
dictionary.
But you're not.
Exactly.
I didn't know you were Irish. D-I-C-K apostrophe.
And Denver's undefeated at home, and that's why everybody think they're gonna win on their own terms.
I'm with franchise. I'm calling Denver at 5.
I think it's gonna go 6.
And as for all of the reasons that we said, gonna do apparently. Joker is definitely gonna do. Murray is gonna do what he's gonna do, and it's gonna be left up to people like Austin Reeves, who is nice.
Why you act like you don't want to say his name?
Because I don't.
It's not gonna be Austin Reeves to win these.
It's gonna be
to win it is going to be him to keep it sustainable and keep it moving.
Hashimura.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be.
And also LeBron James. I keep forgetting about that motherfucker, but okay.
I don't think
LeBron James. I think Father Time is catching up with him as we speak.
I think
he almost had a triple double last night.
I think these games, every other
he had to work for
this versus. He doesn't get the motherfucker handed to him.
Jokic should probably get 10 years.
The man averaging a triple double for the season, and he's still doing it.
He only got 6 triple doubles in the playoff.
How many triple doubles you got?
How many games has he played? 6. That's half of the fucking game.
That's not half of the game.
In 2 series.
In 2 series. Games in the first one. He played 6 games in the second.
So 6 plus 6.
He played one more in 12.
Out of 13 games, he had. I want to go math on this.
Okay, we're sorry. It's really less than half.
It's
like 48%.
Like 49.9999999.
Do your math.
But
come on, count.
He's but they're going to do their thing, so it's going to be left up to, like you say, the Hatchimuras, the Lonnie Walkers, Austin Reeves,
the Paul Juniors, and
Casey,
but they hungry.
Aaron Gordons, and people like that.
Gordon can't shoot.
Bruce Brown.
Yeah.
I just want to see something different. I just want to see something different. I want to see Denver go all the way. And I used to not be a Western person anyway because I am so. But both sides of the conferences now play the same exact way at this point. Because when I was looking at the score I did look at the score. I'm like, these motherfuckers got 70 points already. It's the second quarter.
Mm-hmm. Now, the one thing I'll say as far as rooting for, say, East, I don't care anymore because the way it just like whatever.
I will say, if it's a good team, I can rock with it.
What time? Because they move so much.
Yeah.
It's hard to. Listen.
They make that hard.
When they move team.
Make that hard too because if you're cheering for player versus team.
When you talking parlays, I'm cheering for money. I don't give a damn about shit at that point.
Right.
I'm not saying you're a gold digger.
It's not like in the 80s, you know.
Stand these old never mind.
Yes, sir.
These guys, they get mad at the coach. They say, trade me tomorrow. And they fucking,
I feel you on that.
And the team's like, you're doing what they want to do.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it becomes hard to teams, let alone conferences.
I will say I will try to stick with Eastern if I really like the. But it's some them like first of all, I'm an Allen Iverson for so when AI was playing still. But I like seeing the idea that somebody that has never been in that dynasty / legacy / Kings or that in that because everything ain't always just gonna be Boston, Golden State. You know what I'm saying? Because even as a Detroiter, and I'm a home. I live in Detroit. I don't live in the burbs. I live in Detroit. Okay. We did disrupt that whole dynasty where it was always Boston versus
twice. Yep.
Back to back, and then another time.
Yep.
So with that being said, I did go from Milwaukee. You know, because I wanted to see the young. I'm not about to butcher Greek's name.
Got it.
But I like seeing that stuff. When it was the Toronto Raptors.
Yes, Antetokounmpo. America, let me know.
Derek made wrong. Deserved it, you know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree.
But that's the type of stuff that I like seeing sports enthusiasts. I'm not a person that really likes that legacy stuff. I will give credit where credit is due. But that does not mean that you're the only person that knows how to hoard all the time.
So with that said,
let's go Denver.
Let's go Denver.
And I want to go to Colorado and smoke and go to Aspen.
Oh, no. Hey, that's also a good reason. But
you know, along smoke, man, and watch the NBA finals like they gonna be watching.
Just come here in the wintertime. You have a big old mountain of snow outside.
That is fair.
Nowadays,
but here's the other thing I want to ask.
Like Aspen.
I'll never say Aspen that way.
Aspen.
You can say Aspen that way.
Look at my Aspen.
Yeah. I can't say Aspen that way.
Give it a try.
Moving on.
Give it a try.
So are we rooting for in what you're talking about? Are we rooting for Miami? Even though they've sort of kind of
man, I am kind of because the 8 seed, you know, came in.
Yeah.
You know, and Boston, I think Boston is almost like not too far away from Philly. Boston gets there, but never can
get over the hump.
Yeah.
I want to see Boston.
What are you talking about?
And they lost.
I know.
Getting over the hump will be winning.
They got over the Eastern Conference.
See, I like Boston because I like Jason Tatum.
I like Tatum. I think he's a hell of a player.
I like Jason Tatum. I like Jaylen Brown.
What?
Love Marcus Smart.
What? I love his little, you know, because he's so fiery. Anything against Miami, I just feel like everybody automatically thinks it's going to be Miami.
I think everybody automatically thinks it's going to be Boston.
Really?
Everybody thought that they'd be out in the first round. Everybody thought Miami would be out in the first round against the Bucks.
Right. I will say I do like but you know what? I like Jimmy, but I like Miami. I like Laurie. I won't say whatever this series is. Either way, I wouldn't be mad. I hate his sweater.
Miami was number 1 seed. They were injuries this year, so
this is true.
They're not number 8 seed.
And you're right. You're right, but in the context of like not having the same old saying,
I would like to see Miami versus Boston.
I want to see
Miami than Boston for 2 reasons. And I am a Detroit. It's hard for me to cheer for like Boston.
That's fair.
You don't want to see the Lakers versus Boston.
Hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no.
We already seen it.
80s.
We already seen it.
Let me have
Already seen it. Been there, done that, wrote the story. It is what it is. And I'm old now, man.
I'm the youngest one of this panel.
Oh, and I'm still old.
Wow. That's what that makes
What the fuck?
Older.
What you trying to say there?
Fuck that makes us.
It makes you older than me.
I don't like this
I just
conversation.
think that'd
I don't
be-
like where this shit went.
I just think that'd be more.
Don't. I think that is bullshit. I do.
And if somehow Denver wins, I would like to see Denver.
So then why not have, okay, if we're going to look at it that way, why not just have those teams that don't normally represent their particular conferences? Because if it's going to be Denver, because that's who I'm going with, Denver playing against the Miami,
It's unfair.
that'll be, no.
Miami will get crushed.
They will get crushed.
I don't know.
They ain't big
I don't
enough
know.
about that. They ain't big enough.
I don't know about that.
The only team in the East that can handle Denver if they win is Boston.
I don't know about
I
that.
don't know about that either.
I don't know about that.
They have-
I'll put it to you this way. What I will say, if it does become Denver versus whomever, he better be on Denver.
But here's the
I'm
thing.
saying Boston.
You, because he agreed that Denver's going to make it to the finals.
I said if.
He literally said, Denver?
I said if they make it.
They will.
You rewind that thing. They won't. I think Lakers gonna win this, dog. It's gonna be a rematch of Boston and LA. Everybody knows what happened there.
It's going to be
Teams on the
Denver.
line. And you want to talk
One thing more rigged than
Nobody
that
thinks
is
online.
NBA draft lottery. Okay?
You say what?
Anything more rigged than that is NBA draft lottery.
Right.
You know what?
If it's Lakers, Boston,
It's definitely red.
Not to be fair, that is the narrative.
that was they want.
That's what they want.
Definitely a narrative. And is that what would be the most desired turnout? Yes.
Yes.
LeBron James,
Absolutely.
And for what reason?
Jason
Exactly what it
Tatum.
would be.
You're right. LeBron James, Jason Tatum, number 18. We're gonna get it.
That you're not wrong. And I just hope,
Exactly. I'm tired of that.
and if I have my way, yep, I want to see Denver and Miami. And y'all think that Miami just gonna roll over? Every team they played thus far, they were undersized to.
They gonna fold like a
And
bag of chips.
why they didn't fall to Philly?
Philly ain't Denver.
What?
And they fold like a bag of chips.
I think Miami's success too. Milwaukee with a couple games without Giannis. They played Philadelphia a couple games without Embiid.
But when Embiid was there, he didn't do shit.
Because I don't think he was at full 100% anyways.
Well, then,
What was it?
too bad, so sad.
That's
Like I
what
said.
If I got to go to work when I'm on my menstrual cycle, now what?
You
What we talking about?
You got no excuses.
Absolutely.
You said,
He's not 100%. He dropped 30 and 10.
but let's even move past that because they got put on in the first round. But even moving past that, the thing that you got Harden with you, and it's already been a proven notion that he don't really mean nothing because he can always buckets. The decisions that they were making as a collective
He
team
does not show
were
up
piss
for
poor.
us like
He does not show up.
Again,
Embiid was the MVP, correct?
Correct.
supposedly.
Did you not have like 4 rebounds?
Yeah, he didn't show up for the last game.
It's as simple as this.
They
Huh? It's simple
don't have enough heart.
Who we talking about?
You lose this shit, you get fired.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
But I will say, if you are the MVP of the league, not of your conference,
you don't-
not
you don't
on your
get it.
team, you don't get to do that. And that means you are the most valuable player of the entire league.
Denver lose to LA, that coach get fired.
Okay.
how they just hired him this year.
That don't make
Michigan, he'll be fine.
They're
Rivers
not
still
going
had-
to fire Darvin.
Rivers still got. I said if Denver lose to LA, the Denver coach.
Oh, you think that Brendan Malone is going to
Oh,
get
he be
fired?
done.
What is it? Mike Malone.
Yeah,
Which
Mike
Malone
Malone.
is
He'll
it?
be done. Mike Malone.
It's not Post Malone.
Thank God it's not Post Malone.
But other hand, not get fired. But he's been there. They got there. They got there.
Okay, you might be right about that one because Doc got fired for that exact same reason.
Mike
Monty
got fired
Williams
because of.
got fired for that exact same
Yep.
reason.
He been there. You got as far as we can.
Yeah,
We need different
we need,
voices.
but that same thing that happened with Carlisle. That's how Larry Brown came with Detroit.
Yeah,
You know, so those things do happen. We give you because you're there. You're right.
All right, come on with this Kansas comedy reference. speaking of that, I'm gonna take a quick detour. Then we're gonna get to the last thing of the day. Yeah, Monty Williams fired. Doc Rivers fired. Last week when we were having this show,
You got Buttonhauser.
no, because he's been fired. But as far as the Pistons go, we say that they had come down 3 finalists,
which was
Charles
Becky Hammond.
Lee.
No, I'm sorry, she just was in the thing.
Right, Charles Lee, Kevin Ollie.
Yep.
And since then, Monty Williams fired. Rivers fired. They need to reopen the books.
Sure do.
Only for Money Williams, not for Doc.
You don't like the fact he got a hairline with no hair?
No, Doc, I like Doc as the coach, but Doc ain't the one to get on time.
So Doc knows how to get them to actually make it to the playoffs. He just don't know how to get the ring.
Yeah, he does have a ring.
He got a ring.
Thanks to who?
So does Darko Milicic.
Wow.
This cannot continually be the default.
Do that?
No, it is. Because if everything is based on a ring, he got one too.
But Doc actually did something to help.
This is why I don't think he'll be
His record.
There's an article, that too. There's an article with Rasheed Wallace ripped him in the fucking on the podcast about this fucking coaching style.
Who? You said Rasheed Wallace?
Rasheed Wallace.
Rasheed not coaching shit.
He is.
Where?
College.
Oh man.
They said he might
because he know the game.
Put it back into Detroit, help the big men in Detroit like Wiseman. Like that. They ain't made that decision. That's talk.
They need to do that.
When I tell you, if don't nobody else know that game, there's 2 big dudes that Rasheed Wallace knows the game of basketball.
Rasheed Wallace knows play
correct
the game. Being a great player, not being a great
correct.
coach.
Correct. Hello. Matt, hello.
He wasn't a hell of a coach either. So,
but then here you go, Bill Laimbeer ended up getting championships with the Sparks. Same thing with Rick Mahorn. They can coach. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, AG know the game.
Honestly, I think that horrible coach.
You think so?
Because of the type of player he was. I sort of kind of feel that way about Rasheed because they're too intense and too emotional. You gotta be a little bit more analytical. I get that. Rasheed to be done fuck around and hit one of their players. He's a grown ass man.
Sometimes you gotta hit them.
On camera, get out. Don't you do that?
Not today. But
because again,
knowing how to play it,
because being a coach, because Steve Kerr was not the best player on the Chicago, but look at what he's done. So,
A, it is, but B, as a player, had a whole hell of a lot of time to sit and observe some shit.
Well, yes, because if you fight, I will say this: he took a punch from Michael Jordan, but punched his ass back.
Oh, sure, I like Steve.
He didn't Jordan prove it. He just fought the ground.
Exactly. Steve Kerr, and I think Steve Kerr is a hell of a coach.
Yeah,
but he wasn't the type of player that say or Kevin Garnett.
But you know what? Kevin Garnett went to straight being analytical, doing the analyst stuff. Maybe by coaching, especially college level, it can help round you out a little bit more.
Maybe.
He knows this game.
He does.
The only thing I can see him getting fined on is the refs. Not even his.
Then there's that. He
God damn it!
A hell of a lot of games.
I don't think Rasheed will be a head coach. I think he'll be a good assistant coach. Like I said, help the big guys.
Like Mike Brown. Mike Brown.
You just want to take shots all over, but yes.
No, because he's one that looks like a penis.
Wow.
He was the head coach for Cleveland. He did a good job, but he's the assistant coach for Warriors, correct?
He's the head coach of Sacramento right now. Right.
And look at what they did.
Right.
Okay.
I'm talking about Rasheed coming in as helping the big.
Yeah. Okay.
He'll be great at that.
Because she knows how, but he also knows how to take them threes.
And I think I don't know if Kevin Garnett could do that. Though.
Yes, he did.
On that one.
Except for he was scrawnier.
Yeah, and
he can't. Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
The biggest difference. It's hard to say that because they were great players, that's going to train good coaches. Now, what they've done since like Rasheed has been an assistant coach
That's what
for a few teams. Maybe.
Maybe.
I think
We miss you, Sheed.
I think the Pistons ought to go out there and tell give a little money, have Olajuwon come and teach Wiseman.
But Olajuwon did it for Dwight Howard, and as crap, he definitely changed his game up.
Shit, he did it for quite a few people.
Knows that
So,
position.
Very nice coin.
Yeah.
And I ain't mad at him.
I ain't mad at all.
So let me ask you a question now. With San Antonio get the number 1 pick, is this the next Duncan? Is this the next dynasty coming up?
They haven't built his cyborg from the moon yet, so we don't know.
I don't know.
Really gonna help them be the next dynasty?
I don't know. Gonna pan out to be what everybody.
It's true.
It's always a gamble.
Hello.
And we don't know for a couple of years.
Yeah, so that's gonna take a second to materialize. If
What
it
is Michael
materializes
Parsons
at
doing
all.
at the
But
Okay.
I talking about how the screwed over in the draft is depressing. It depresses me.
Hence the drink.
But here, let's go from that depressing topic to an infinitely more depressing topic.
Oh, we love going down.
Wait, as the young kids would say.
I'm a girl. I said that. So
More power to you.
But you go down 2 times.
I'm going.
John Morant
I
back in the news again. Before we go any further with this story, Ja, you're an idiot. Flat the fuck out. You're an idiot. Period. Point blank. Story. We could sort of kind of like end the topic right there, but let's continue. In another viral video, John Morant is shown brandishing a gun, doing it for the gram, geeking up on young boy in the NBA.
Please don't ask me. I don't know.
You're right about that. I heard that name.
But he's up to these foolish ways.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you a question. What do you mean again? He didn't stop.
Say
But
continuously.
you say he's still doing foolish ways.
Continue.
Okay, that's fair. I won't even argue that point. That is fair. He's still doing this dumb shit.
Because it's not like this is a video that they found that was older
No.
than the video he got in trouble for. Because that's one thing. Then I will have a different argument where I hear some of these people, and I hate to take over. I was listening, and I like Brother Johnson. Like, he does, but he kept trying to make it seem like, let's get his brother some help. These
No, this ain't
and
about getting
the
help.
rest of so Rock Team, all of them was like, when does it turn into, I don't know, personal accountability?
Correct.
See, my thing is, this is your second time within not even a 6-month thing. My guy, you just literally after you did the press conference of, I understand better, I know better, I can do better, I'm in therapy, I understand it. And what did you do?
Yep.
The same dumb shit. So at the end of the day, I'm not blaming his team because, okay, then stop hanging around those, because that was the same team you had when you did the. So we're learning. It's one thing to make a mistake. The same mistake, doing the same thing. That's not a mistake. That's a pattern. You literally just looked at your employer in the face, because this is why it's gotten more serious. Silver. He said me and him had an in-depth conversation about subsequent stuff because in his mind, this shouldn't even be a subsequent issue. We're talking about the severity of current day. You're suspended for 8 games. We cannot tolerate this. And what do your ignorant self go out there and do? The same exact thing. It's ridiculous.
It is. Interject something. Does anybody think that John Morant was suspended was he suspended by the league or was he suspended by the Memphis Grizzlies?
I think he was suspended by Memphis Grizzlies.
Do we think that he was suspended by the Memphis Grizzlies? Did or because what he did was bad?
Can it be a little bit of both?
No, I don't think it is. I think
it's appearance on what it reflects on the team. So because of what it looks bad.
So the opposite. That's what is going to happen to him is going to be.
Yes, because they got to make an example.
With that being said, though,
and two things to be true at the same time. Is John Moran an idiot? Yep.
Willie So said it.
I sure fucking did. Come bring the pistol with you when you do.
Oh, he got those.
Clearly,
It's on his eye.
We saw it. But he's an idiot. He shouldn't have done what he was doing on any occasion, whether in Denver, flashing a gun, wherever he was at when he was flashing a gun this time around. All the stuff that he's doing. Personal accountability, absolutely hold them ills. But as far as why he was suspended, I just tend to think that the powers that be don't like. They feel that it will eventually, if it hasn't already, affect their bottom line, and they got to put a stop to that.
It's business, yeah.
I just don't grasp the concept of I'm a $40 million making guy and I gotta go around acting like a fool.
Yeah, right, and that's true. But there are $1 guys going around acting like complete fools, and
they don't put it on their Instagram Live.
They actually do, and they're not being, and they haven't been suspended. I'm just asking: do we think that? This
if we're going down the line that I think that you're going down,
that this is going to be. Do we think that is fair? The way that they're going about this.
I think it's fair if you chose to put yourself in a situation the second. Now, the first time you got suspended just by the organization, not the league.
I'm going to double check this. I think that maybe Memphis just said he's away from the team, and then the league came in and gave him the game suspension.
I know. The first time around, no,
we have not said anything yet.
It was Memphis that suspended him. One have to sit in the principal's office and talk to.
Okay.
But with that being said, and it could be because I'm a parent as well. It's one thing, and I know he's young. When you signed that contract, that's this point. That's just not you doing the shit that you did in high school and or college, where you get to goof around, hang out with your friends. And you are now an entity for a business. You represent a business. I'm sorry. Sit here and as much as I know that the black youth go through, I understand. This ain't got nothing to do with that. And the only reason why I'm that hard on it is because, my guy, you just did it a second time.
To be clear, that's not where I'm going.
But some people are, and that's not what my thing is. There's one thing, if they would have rained down on him the very first time and not given him the opportunity, wrong, I made a mistake. I was foolish. I didn't realize. It was my own personal social media page. It was my own personal legal handheld gun. I thought I was just having a good time with my friends. I didn't realize the severity of my behavior. So for that, I will take the repercussions, and I've grown.
I'm on his social media page, though. This is on friends.
But see,
it was friends' social media page last time.
It was. If your friends looking to do time, you need to find a better group of friends to hang out with.
Agreed.
But no, you know that you are under the thumb. So why stay still?
100%. But this is why I'm asking, do we his behavior that he did, as far as what we see on Instagram, his behavior was not detrimental. It was not detrimental to anybody around him. Was doing it? No. But it wasn't detrimental. It just look bad.
It's kind of in the detriment to the league. I tell you how I see it though, because if I say you did the one thing once and you go back and do it again, you make business say fuck me, because I told you not to do that.
I dig that. I'm saying the actual
right
for these coincidences. I'm
not just going there, not the kind of act for showing the gun, but the kind of act of disrespecting that me as far as saying, you know what, I'm gonna do it again, and you already told me you weren't gonna do it again.
Well,
that's detrimental to the
that shows you're insubordinate.
That's for the league.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still under a league contract, so he's still he's still doing something that the league's gonna have to answer to.
That's like
when the league has to talk about what a player does in their association, then there's no, they're gonna have an issue with that player.
I get it.
That's like getting a company car and you get arrested in a DUI or something. You know what I'm saying? Company, but you are a representation of that.
I get it. And as a representative, that's why I said his cats has done shit worse and did not get suspended for it. But because the actual behavior, while juvenile, infantile, sophomoric, whatever you want to call it, it just
Let's put it in perspective.
I feel like they have people who have had sexual assault charges. They have people who have literally had drunk driving charges where people were killed. And
football players.
No, it's been basketball players. Kobe Bryant went through the same thing. Rest in peace.
That's a great example. And he had literally a highly publicized.
Kobe went through it.
You know Denver?
Yes.
Why does everything come back? He had highly publicized.
The thoughts and the comments of work in progress is not representation of the overall thought of sports and Layman's comments.
Rape case going on.
Correct.
Did single day that, and he was the poster child. Reflects badly on the league. He did not receive. Huh?
He did go. Yes, he was.
Okay, and what charges have been levied against John Morant?
So then, let me say it this way to bring into perspective.
Like I say,
I get the point that I gave to show.
Let's make it twice.
I will say the point that I made of bringing Kobe up was not to necessarily relitigate nothing.
No,
I was just saying to your point there, but the way that we look at the world now in 2023 is completely different. Correct. So we handled that situation based upon the knowledge that we had then. If we think about this country in an overall whole, one of the in this country deals with what? Weapons. Deals with guns. Deals with gun violence. No one is saying that he did anything wrong. But do we know if that weapon was loaded or not? No, we don't. Do we know that accidental fires can happen? Plesko Burris shot the fuck out of him own self.
I'll put it to you like this.
And you went on Instagram Live.
Like this. We've had athletes.
Just got the dead man.
Speaking of guns, we've had athletes.
Jumping rings.
I was gonna say place.
That's even more severe than what I was going to say.
Exactly.
But we've had athletes just sort of try to give an apples to apples comparison who are on Instagram Live holding guns, hunting. It's different, right?
Yes.
Context, optics. Now, some of those animals that they were standing next to, some would say are endangered. Some point is there's always going to be someone who may be critical of what's being.
But there's
saying that if it would have been okay if he had to show
No. I think it was dumb. But what I'm saying is the optics. We're trying to a bunch of stuff together that doesn't necessarily. And I did
and
again, I understand that I get what's about to happen. I get why it's about to happen. I'm not even mad that it's about to happen. I'm just sort of kind of curious. The picking and the choosing of the outfit.
I don't. And then franchise, I want you to chime in because for my thing is, had this been his first offense and they were doing it to this extent, as far as that argument goes, this is less than even 6 months. You've been that's like almost telling your child, if I get off from work, I want the dishes done, I want the room made. You didn't went and you made a video to your mom. I promise you I'll do this, I promise you I'll do that.
The point that I'm making is the coming down isn't so much about what we saw as much as it's about, didn't I tell your ass one time? Didn't I tell you?
But even beyond that, you went and said, I get it. You think? Yes. But what you got, franchise?
I mean, it's a pattern. It's a pattern that, it's not going to, I don't change right now. I mean, and the suspension, first and foremost, he gave the league a big,
yes.
He did. And when the league come right back and say, oh, you're going to fuck me? Guess what? 25 fucking games.
Yeah.
Sure. Whatever it's going to be. And I mean,
and they are going to make it a poster child.
Yeah, they are.
Make them out for the season.
There's one thing I never say in sports is like, are all these millionaire players?
Is it messed up?
Drunk driving tickets. Or I'm like, you have all this money in the world.
How does that equate? If you give 8 games and you go take them off a whole season next time,
because the next time the more deliberate.
How about what I've been saying the whole time? The shit is about optics, which may affect their bottom. A very strict message. We don't give a fuck geeking up in the video holding your pistols. We don't give a fuck about that. But when you doing that, start to affect our bottom line,
my God,
he gonna pop you on your head.
But see, this is when I have the problem as you gonna have to learn when look, like New Edition said, boys to men, because originally you used the excuse of I didn't know I'm with my friend. If you got some real good ass friends beside you and y'all still want to do that dumb turn, the recording that way you can do whatever you want to do. But the moment that you make it for public speculation, and now it looks like willful endangerment and willful recklessness.
But see, that's why
a slap on the wrist ain't gonna work.
I did, but that's what, and those two things. That's why I don't feel that those two things are mutually exclusive. We're going to suspend them, and then there's the personal issue and who he hangs with and his maturity level.
That's obvious.
Clearly.
And he still want to hang. He still want to do what, unfortunately, a lot of young black people do. We get out the hood because somebody gave us the opportunity, but we still want to bring our hoodlum friends with us in the hood because we don't want to prove that we sold out.
And
that's what I'm saying. And that's what pisses me off. Because where's his daddy at?
Right there, being a yes man for him.
Put a cherry top on this guy. How many game suspension you got for him, you think?
I think they don't put him out for the season.
And that's just me hedging my bets. But I would, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was the whole season.
I was going to say a quarter season. I'll stick with the 20 that I said in the beginning.
And it's unfortunate. Talented player. Don't get it twisted. However, make a soft ass.
Somebody argued me down about that. He's just too talented. I said, look, man, two of those talented. They sat that motherfucker down.
Sure did. And at the end of the day, brand and money speaks volumes over character and individual. They don't give a damn about none of that stuff. They're not about to try to push into your mold into you what your father should be doing.
Just as in golf, there's a new star coming into the 3 years. So you're expendable at that regard.
So you being 23 and stupid, you was 23 and stupid 2 months ago when that happened.
Victor Wembanyama.
They're trying to make him
that boy good.
Make him the face of the league already.
Sure, absolutely. So
and he didn't even play in the league.
Don't ever the NBA stars.
Facts. Unfortunately, you just
trust people. He choked his way out of it.
See that?
She sure the hell did.
Yeah. Choked the life out of his coach career. But
Yeah.
America, there has been yet of sports in layman's terms. I'm sure we might have said something that you disagree with, something that you think is idiotic. That's cool. Chime in.
Yeah.
We're on YouTube.
We're on
8
Facebook.
o'clock Wednesday. You could also catch us at Sports in Layman's Term on Facebook. This is Franchise. I'm Willie Soso, TBD, aka Joy, WIP, work in
Whip
progress.
it real good.
And for this week, at least, Kenny B.
Named 3 times in the show, so you don't use to it.
This is Sports in Layman's Terms.
Till next week, America.
I don't know if he oh shoot. I know the audio went though, but I can never get
The audio was still running?
Yeah. 56 minutes.
Time, TLC, make sure we get about an hour.